Alright everyone, this video is going to be unlike any video you've probably seen on YouTube because we'll be doing 4 things in one. We'll start by creating a fit, then we'll build something, talk about the real shit, and finally do something someone else would do. But context is probably necessary for this, right? This video is inspired by my interest in the Japanese Super Sentai series Kyushiru Sentai Ryusoldier. Oh, you don't know what any of that means? Right. Okay. Long story short, the OG Power Rangers series that we all know and love is actually an adaptation of a Japanese TV show called Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger. The Sentai part of the title refers to the ongoing series similar to Power Rangers, such as Power Rangers Turbo and Power Rangers Ninja Steel being part of the same type of show. That sounded boring. Anyway, where does my interest fit into any of this? Well, I've always been an off and on fan of Power Rangers. Every 5 years I tend to get back into it, and the most recent series I found myself watching was Power Rangers Dino Fury. And this show was exciting and fun, just how I remembered Dino Charge being, and it surprised me with some of its portrayals of characters. It felt a bit older to me. About halfway through the Dino Fury series, I decided to see what the Japanese version was all about. This was going to be the first Sentai series I've ever watched, after all. And oh my god. Day 1 and the show did something I'd never seen before. My eyes couldn't believe it. It was a dream come true. It was anime. In real life. It was awesome. It was lame, but it was honest. And to be honest with you, I feel the same way about myself sometimes. I was excited. The show pulled me in, and then I got broken up with. For a while, I didn't feel like myself. I didn't feel like doing the things that normally made me happy. One day, about 2.5 weeks after the breakup, I showed my mom the first episode of Ryusoldier. But I was watching the show from a different perspective now. I was heartbroken. It felt like I had been thrusted into the driver's seat of a car I didn't want to own. And then, this happened. And that was it, boys. It felt like that inner child in me was coming back, and I knew this was going to be a healing show for me. Over the course of 2 months, my mom and I would binge the show and fall in love with the characters, the storylines, and the overall theme of growth. So, this first episode is dedicated to my personal favorite, Ko, the red Ryuso leader of the team, and the boy that thinks limits were meant to be broken.
Alright, let's talk about the style. So I wasn't exactly sure how to film this portion of the video. I did write a script for this entire video, and I did film this part and edit this part, and it just felt a little stilted. And I still might be a little stilted because it's not something I'm entirely comfortable talking about. But part of the entire point of the series is to step out of my comfort zone. So with that being said, what was the point of this section of the video? Well, in the series, all the characters wear these matching Ryusoulger tribe outfits, and they're cute for the show. But my idea was a what if. What if these characters were to wear something more civilian? What if these characters had a sense of their own style outside of what they are supposed to wear while they're working? And this got me thinking about how to even encompass someone else's style when I'm still working on my own. As recent as 2 years ago, I was still very much in the COVID mindset of going out into public and how I was being perceived and how I was presenting. I was wearing big sweatpants, I was wearing big sweatshirts. That's what I felt comfortable with at the time, and that's okay. And it took some personal growth and just being on my own a little bit to see fashion as more of an opportunity and less of something that I had to face every single day. And that's been really important to me. So that's why this is my most anticipated section of the series, and I'm really excited to talk about it. So where do we even start? Well, first I had to boil down the characters into some words that I think could help me find a style for them. I am not a stylist. I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's part of the fun. So for Ko, these were the words that I decided really fit his vibe. Some of the main words that came up were kind, comfortable, confident, and there was definitely a sense of childlike wonder that I wanted to capture with this fit. So from there I made a Pinterest board of men's fashion, men's outfits that I thought captured some of these words, captured some aspects of some of these words. And then from there, I created this more custom mood board with the vibes that I was going for. I also wanted to thrift most of what I put into this outfit, so that made it more limited, of course. So I think now I'll just show you what I got for the outfit and why I think it accomplishes what I was going for. Okay, so the first thing that I found in a thrift store was this white t-shirt with this red rose on the front and then a bigger version of the same design on the back. This is not something that I would buy for myself. This is not something that I could see myself wearing all that often until this video. But what I do think it accomplishes is I think that it's comfortable, I think that it's confident and a bit romantic. Not that Ko is romantic, but I think it plays into the confidence of the character. The second thing I found for this outfit was this really nice red sweater, crew neck that I got while thrifting in downtown Seattle, so that's really fun. It fit me really well, and this was the comfort aspect of the character. This was the approachable, this was the friendly piece. I think it's out there, it's really bright red, it's not a color red that I would normally wear. Again, stepping outside of my comfort zone, but it just sort of made me feel safer, and I think that's really important when it comes to finding clothes that you like. Okay, so moving down to the pants, and originally I found these pants with a really cool knit pattern on them, and this is the outfit I wore when I built the mini Pla model kit, but since the filming of that, I found pants that just made me happier, and I think that happiness is part of this character. So while these pants are really cool and I really like the knit pattern, it also kind of follows the motif that the villains have in the show. These super light wash Levi's that fit me really well were the finishing touch on the outfit. So I was really, really happy about this. I would buy these and wear these just the way that they are. So it's a good mixture of things that I would and wouldn't wear to create something that I think and that I hope captures another character's traits. Moving on to accessories, and we do have some silly accessories. So again, originally I had this little cat necklace that I wore when I built the model kit. I got this at Pike Place Market a long time ago, probably a couple of years ago now. And just this little cat face made me happy, and it seemed like something Ko would wear. But with that being said, it also maybe strayed a little too far from the theme of the show, and they're knights, and they do have jewelry in the show. All of them have different types of jewelry. So what ended up happening was, while I was getting lunch at work, there was someone selling their art next to where I bought lunch, and some of their art, most of what they were selling was jewelry, and this is not something that I would buy for myself normally, but I really liked how gothic it looked, and it sort of fit the medieval theme of the show, I guess. So it also adds to the confidence. It is a really cool design, and since then I've worn it with other outfits and it's made me pretty happy. So I switched the cat necklace with this for the final look. And finally, we'll talk about the shoes that I wore with this outfit. Originally I found these nice little sneakers while thrifting. They weren't super expensive. There's a cool little red trim, but they did seem a little too adult for Ko. They seemed a little older, a bit mature. And he is the leader and he is serious, but I decided to go with my white Air Force Ones that I wear all the time. To me, with the cuffed pants and the white sneakers, felt the most like Ko. And then the sort of scary part of the outfit was putting this on my wrist and going out into the world with this all day and not questioning it, because I shouldn't, because I should be able to wear whatever I want. And it is ridiculous and cool. It's the Japanese toy, along with this, which you'll see in the video later. But these were also part of the outfit, and they will be part of the outfit for every single video. And all in all, I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's not perfect. I mean, it doesn't match completely what I had envisioned on my mood board, but it gets it close enough. And that's all I could really hope for when it comes to this, because it's such a unique challenge with limited time, with limited money, with limited availability to try stuff on. So really exciting section of the video. I am pretty proud of what I created. I'm excited to do more, but here's the outfit. And as you can see, I do feel like myself in it, but I also feel those traits that I was going for. I do feel a little bit more confident. I do feel a little bit more friendly wearing all this, and with how bright red the sweater is, I'm definitely noticeable. So that's cool. Anyway, that's that section of the video. I hope you liked it. Now we'll move on to the build, and we'll be talking about some things that are a little deeper than fashion.
Today I'll be building Bandai's mini plastic model kit, or mini-pla, of Tiramigo, the T-Rex Downernite, and friend of Ko. While you watch an edited version of the start to finish of this build, I also want to take the time to share some deeper feelings about the importance of this character to me. The real shit. As stated in the previous section of the video, Ko embodies what it means to be kind, curious, and outgoing. That's not to say he doesn't have his flaws. In fact, some of my favorite episodes are character studies about his specific struggles. No one can really be that happy, right? Well, Ko pushes me to believe that maybe we actually can, in spite of our struggles. But this sort of begs the question, why even watch shows like Super Sentai? If you couldn't tell already, this series was made for kids. And I've always been in support of media that was, quote, made for kids. Shows like Adventure Time, Over the Garden Wall, and even Avatar were also made for kids. But as an adult, I often relate my struggles to life lessons I learned in those shows. And I think it has a lot to do with the purpose of the characters. One may assume that these characters are one note, or simple, or easy to understand for children. And that isn't entirely wrong, but with characters who are less set in their ways, I think it opens up for the possibility of relatability. I am definitely not Ko, but I have struggled with the idea of putting everyone's responsibilities on my back. I haven't fought monsters or been a part of a superhero team, but I have felt the pain from losing a friend. Anyway, back to building, and even things like plastic model kits are an adult attempt to stay connected to my inner child. It can be so easy to let go of the things that are not adult the older we get. It is interesting to be making this video around Halloween as well, as it becomes the one time of year in which we can all pretend we are someone else. It's also interesting what a leader represents in this series. Ko has gone on record multiple times saying that it doesn't matter who the leader is as long as we do it together. There's an arc in the show where a new character tests his leadership, and we explore Ko's past and his temperament. It is fascinating to see the nuance of adult situations in a children's show. Of course, it ends up being idealistic, and the power of friendship overcomes a bitter past. But, in actuality, Friendship can drag us out of who we feared we were. So, here's what I really aspire to. I love the idea of being the reason that someone believes in something else. And Ko is that. He's a hero to me because of those traits, not the superpowers. Maybe it's not realistic, but this character challenges that all the time. He always says things like limits were meant to be broken. The classic shonen hero, push past your limits. There is value there, though. There is value in teaching that to a younger generation, and there is value in being reminded of that as we get older. I also aspire to his leadership. He is serious when he needs to be, but soft, kind, and gentle in every other moment. That is something I really want to be. It is something I hope I have been. I can watch the show for the big robots, the storylines, and the action, but again, at the end of the day, I'm here as a fan for the characters. And here's a little bit about the build. This was actually really fun to build, and took longer than I thought it would. I think the design is actually really inspired. I love how big his head is compared to the rest of his body. My only complaint would be the amount of stickers, but at such a small scale, I understand why so many mini-plot kits use them. The Red Knight mode is also really cool. I think the posability is great for something at this price and complexity. It's Bandai, so of course the molds are good, but to be honest, the T-Rex mode looks so damn cute, and reminds me of the Tiramigo in the show, who has his own goofy and interesting personality.
Well, I've just finished editing everything that I filmed and wrote about for the past month. I originally wanted this video to come out the last day of the month of October. And you may notice that at the beginning of the video I said that we would be doing something that someone else would do, and I had a plan for that as well. Originally, I was going to get my ears pierced. I thought that was a courageous act. But with the timing of my softball season starting up and the rules they have against piercings, I decided it wasn't the best idea. And then it took a really long time to think about what other thing I could do. But to be honest with you, I feel like I've done a lot. This became a bigger project, and that's okay. And I think following through on it is something that someone else would do. I love starting projects, I love the idea of bigger projects, and sometimes they can just get away from you. And I didn't hit my deadline, and normally, maybe that would be it. Normally I would say, yep, there's no way I can fit this into my life right now. But the first Sunday of the new month, November, is an okay deadline to meet. I get it, it's kind of a cop-out. In sequel videos, there will be something, but there was a lot of context, and the intro was pretty long in this video anyway, so I don't feel too bad about it. But I hope you liked it. I hope you maybe learned something. Please let me know what you'd like to see more or less of in the comments below. That way I can have that information while making the next video. And there will be a next video. I'm looking forward to doing this for not just all of the actual Ryu soldiers, but pretty much everything I have to build, and that's quite a lot. But it'll be really interesting to do this consistently each month. Try something new, step out of my comfort zone in some way. And at the end of the day, I hope it's been entertaining, and I hope I've been able to share a little bit about myself with you. So, you may be wondering, next episode, what's it gonna be? Well, the second in command is none other than Ryusol Blue. So, be on the lookout for this. It'll come out the first Sunday of the next month, so next December. And I'm feeling pretty good. I feel pretty happy. I feel pretty proud of myself for doing all this. It's about a 18-minute video, and that's a lot of content to fill. And it's basically me talking, so I hope my voice isn't too annoying either. So, thank you. I really appreciate you watching if you've gotten this far, and I'll see you in the next one.
マスターのソウルがここに。これからは俺たちが守ります。この地球を。
その昔
行くぞ。楽勝楽勝。さ
この村を出て行った仲間がいる。彼らと力を合わせマスターたちの意志を継ぐのだ。